What are some key mental and physical steps or patterns to stay on game?
Yeah, this is one of those questions that we got a bunch of very similar questions to this. What are the 5 key? And people always want to put numbers on things, especially these days. I think it's people's attention span. Yeah. People want to see a list of, okay, if I do this.
Yeah.
And I guess, it sells, right? Yeah. What are the 5? In fact, they've done a bunch of articles about Leif and I, and they throw like a number on them. The 12 things, the 3 things.
Yes.
Because people want to believe that there's a finite number of steps to take.
And also, as far as an article for consumption, it makes you feel mentally comfortable to know that, okay, it's not this open. I don't know how much I'm going to read. I know I'm going to read the 12, and that's what I'm going to eat, It's
this is going to go back to what we've already been talking about. For me, waking up early, working out every day, taking ownership of what you're doing and responsibility of things that are in your life, making sure that you periodically throughout the day, throughout the hour, maybe not throughout the minute, but that you detach yourself from the situation that you're in. You detach yourself from it and you look at yourself and you assess. Mm-hmm. And I think that has a huge impact. And I talk about that a lot, that detachment, that it is something that I learned in the SEAL teams. And I learned it when bad things were happening. And if you get sucked into those bad things and you're in them mentally, emotionally, and physically, you can't assess well because you're in the problem. Yeah. It's like when you're watching a horror movie and they're like voluntarily, there's a noise down in the basement. Let's go see what it is. Right. Everyone that's watching the movie that's detached from the situation is screaming at the screen, no, don't do it. Mm-hmm. The people that are there are saying, yes, let's go check it out, because they're emotionally and physically and mentally in the situation. So having the ability to detach from the present, from being inside your own head, being able to detach from that is hugely important, because it allows you to do a real assessment of yourself. And then finally, staying humble. You can't ever think that you've got everything figured out. You've got to constantly be saying, what can I do better? What can I fix? What am I screwing up? And people are going to give you advice, and you got to take it and listen to it and see if it's good or not, maybe put it to the test. But I think those things, waking up early, working out, taking ownership of stuff, being able to detach and assess, and staying humble, those are kind of my mainstays, if I had to call them out, on the list of 5 things that make you better. Yeah, the ownership, they're all pretty, these are all challenges for sure. These aren't just easy things to do. But the ownership, I think that's a big key. Like, for example, in your book, what it talks about, the whole theme of the book, extreme ownership. Yeah. Where any situation when something goes wrong, when it doesn't go perfectly or you want it to go better, it's so easy, super easy, especially if you're emotionally charged or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to be like, well, that guy didn't do his job or whatever. And a lot of the cases, it's true. Yeah. That guy didn't do his job. A lot of cases,
but
it's true.
And then when you do that, you don't even think about, or you don't honestly tell yourself or think about what you did or what you didn't do, or what you did wrong, to make that, what role you played.
And that's why that detachment is critical. Because if you don't detach, it's very easy to be in your own head and say, well, Echo screwed up his part, and that's why we failed the mission. Right. It's because Echo didn't do his job. But as soon as I hear myself saying that, when I'm saying it, it's okay. When it's coming out of my mouth, it's okay. Right. It feels like, if I see myself saying it, then I know that I've gone the wrong way. Yeah. I know that I've made a mistake.
Yeah. And what's interesting is when you, and it's something you can do like right now. You don't have to get trained in it. You can start practicing taking ownership of everything you possibly can, literally right now. And what I found and really like about it is that it works not just like with business, it works with everything, relationships with friends, relationships with your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, all that. It works amazing in all those situations. So it applies. It's really kind of like a staple for life, you know, like a way to conduct yourself just in life.
Yeah. And that is why that became the title of the book, because that is the underlying characteristic that helps people in their life. And I mean, that means as a leader, of course, obviously, in a pressure situation, obviously, in a business, obviously, but you're right. And it takes transitions across the board to life, and it makes you successful across the board when you take ownership of everything, no doubt about it.
Yeah. So at age